let's get into some guys that are that guy. We've got a list of quarterbacks that are notable free agents this year, and then we've got somewhat of a good draft class. I don't even know how good this draft class is, to be honest with you. And then we've got some quarterback needy teams. So quickly, around the horn, I'm going to give you some names, notable free agents. I don't think this guy is going to be a free agent soon. Actually, the top three probably, but Daniel Jones, Kirk Cousins, Aaron Rodgers, Malik Willis, Marcus Mariota, Russell Wilson, Joe Flacco. Top prospects coming out of the draft: Mendoza, Ty Simpson out of Alabama, Carson Beck from Miami, Garrett Nussmeier, who I love, out of LSU, and Drew Waller out of Penn State. Not too sure about him. Quarterback needy teams coming into the draft and free agency: the Jets, Dolphins, Raiders, Steelers, Colts, and Cardinals. So those are the teams. We know Kyler Murray's on his way out. With the Dolphins, they just let Tyreek Hill go. Jalen Waddle has come out and said he wants out. So the Dolphins sound like they're in a complete rebuild. So we've got some teams here that need quarterbacks. So let's just go down the line: Jets, Dolphins, Raiders, Steelers, Colts, Cardinals. Let me know from you. Are you going into the draft for a quarterback, or do you want one of these free agents? Lauren, you're the Jets GM. What are you doing?
Yeah, you got a load of picks. Jets will find a way to mess it up. But I don't think you go quarterback right away. But I've heard the exact opposite. The way I see it is a quarterback's not going to fix what you got going on over there. You had 0 INTs as a defensive unit. You need some pressure. You lost some guys. Sauce is gone. Dude, you're starting from the bottom. So I think you go in the trenches, and I think you go either offensive line, defensive line. You kind of reestablish your corners. I don't think they go QB. So needing, sure. Are they going to get one right now? No, they got loads of picks next year. They have like 6 first and second round picks or something like that. In the same, it's outrageous, but the Jets will find a way. We all know that the Jets will find a way to,
I've got 2 options for you. I've got 2 options in my mind. They can sign Malik Willis, who I know Brandon thinks should get an opportunity to be a starting quarterback somewhere, or because of the way the season ended last year, you can get Garrett Nussmeier in, maybe the 3rd or 4th round. And so I don't know that New York wants a Garrett Nussmeier. I don't know that he wants to play in a cold weather area. He's been in warm weather his whole life. So probably a warm weather team. Maybe Miami's a good place for a Garrett Nussmeier. But Malik Willis intrigues me to go to the Jets. They wanted Justin Fields, but why can't Malik Willis come in and be their Justin Fields next year? Brandon, what do you think the Jets ought to do?
I definitely think the Jets need to move free agency. You need to build in the draft. If you have that many draft picks, you need to go get some killers. You need to have a O-line to be able to protect, your free agent quarterback. There's several veterans. Do you go with a Malik Willis in this situation? I really don't like that. I like him more in Miami, per se. I think you go with a guy who can be a tremendous bridge quarterback for a young quarterback. Someone, these top prospects, I mean, I'm not really liking them, either one, but I feel like what I do like about these young prospects is outside of Ty Simpson, these guys have a lot of volume of playing ball, right? 3-4 year starters, which that's what you want. And so you can get somebody in the late rounds on this, but man, you go with a guy like Joe Flacco, right? A guy who can come in there. He still loves to play the game. Right. You still have Garrett Wilson over there. You still have a few running backs, and, maybe you can, bridge that opportunity, allow, there's another Broadway Joe, out with the Jets, and that could help sell, but also, man, just rebuilding and retooling with that line, because we all know if Joe Flacco's protected, he can play serviceable ball for X amount of games until one of these young quarterbacks start to arrive. But I don't think you go and get a Malik Willis. You got to get a team that's already built.
Okay,
and I can go. So,
I'm glad you said Dolphins. I don't know. And then
yeah, just let into
built, but the Dolphins need a rebuild. So to me, if I'm the Dolphins, I let Quinn Ewers play for a year, maybe 2. And you know what I do? And I'm hearing that this might be the play. Draft Carson Beck in the 3rd to 4th round. I don't think any of these quarterbacks are first rounders, by the way. But you can grab Carson Beck or Garrett Nussmeier, who loves to play in the warm weather because you're not sure about Quinn, or keep Quinn, let him play and bring in bring in a Joe Flacco, although I like Joe Flacco going to the Raiders because the Raiders are going to draft Mendoza. And who better to be a mentor to a pocket quarterback coming into this league? Who better to do that than Joe Flacco? So I like Joe Flacco going to the Raiders and mentoring Mendoza down there in Las Vegas. So those are my Dolphins and Raiders ideas for them. Lo, where are you at with the Dolphins?
Man, I'm not moving on the Dolphins yet because Tua's still there. We can't ignore 48 mil or something like that they got. So you can only do so much with him until they move on him, a trade or a cut, which they are rolling. Tyreek's release freed up about 22, 23 mil. A lot of it's dead money, but it's still, that's the start. Like, you're willing to take a hit next year. You know what I mean? Chubb, they just let him go. Like, this is a two-time Pro Bowler. Like, they're letting guys walk to where they are rebuilding there. Lots of other guys, but they're making their moves right now. My Dolphins insider, you know, I got friends in the division, you know, because obviously it's freaking Dolphins and Jets, but he's happy right now. He tells me that they're making the moves they need to. He's seen rebuilds, okay? So he's seen them do this a lot, and this time he's happy because it started at the tippy top, right? And you got Troy Aikman to help you out to start. So, yeah, man. I mean, Tyreek Hill is huge, but I'm not moving until Tua moves. That's when we'll know what they're doing at quarterback. And yeah,
word
safety
on the
net
street.
and Ewers. That's good.
Word on the street is that Kyler Murray will be a Miami Dolphin. That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm reading. That's what I'm seeing. Now, that being said, if I'm Kyler Murray, do I want to sign to the Dolphins when quite possibly their top two wide receivers are out the door? Not really. Do I want to be a part of that? Is that the only place Kyler Murray is going to get a job? But, you know, out of all the free agents here that we have, and he's not a free agent, right? Or is he? Like, they just released him, or do they have to trade him? I'm not sure what the Kyler Murray situation is.
Stand on that.
But I know Arizona is out on the Kyler Murray experience. I expect them to go with Jacoby Brissett and maybe draft, a younger guy. Maybe draft a Garrett Nussmeier, a Drew Aller. Although I expect Drew Aller to be drafted by Pittsburgh, y'all, because I expect A-Rod to stay, and I expect them to go out, even though they've already tried to get the local guy with Kenny Pickett.
They have Will Howard.
I don't think Will Howard's a long-term guy. Do
Mike
you? Because I've been hearing Drew Aller that he is a love of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Saw that last night.
I don't think he did enough, man, but that's me. I've seen him playing big games. He's had a couple of them. I think if any quarterback, I think I can really work with this guy outside of Mendoza. It's Ty Simpson. He's a competitor.
Now,
and he can run.
I
was
saw
the number
him
one field threat in his class in high school. He's only played 1
last
year.
night tied to the Pittsburgh Steelers as well. That he's
not bad, man.
He's the other guy they like to bring in and sit behind A-Rod for a year.
Yeah, I just don't think
I think a lot of these guys
like, hey, this is the guy, right? He's got 1 year.
I think a lot of these teams have that opportunity to have a bridge type situation with Brissett and situations like that. But let's be real, the class after this one, that's where a lot of these quarterbacks sit. You can tell there's a lot more talent in next year's quarterback class than this one. There's a couple in here that are going to start now, but we're not going to see these guys right away. Preseason, and then they're not going to have moments to get in the game.
But that's a good thing.
I don't even see them as solid QB2s. Yeah, it's great, but we might not see any of these guys.
Well, we're going to see Mendoza. Unless the Raiders,
I'm talking outside the top three, maybe 3, 2. But I don't think Beck. I think we forget about who Beck is. I think we forget about who Beck is for a little minute. I think he pops about maybe if an injury happens, but no one's winning on over this guy.
We'll talk about all the rookie quarterbacks in depth, obviously, as we get closer to the draft. Obviously, the Colts and the Cardinals are the last two teams. The Colts, to me, tell me if you agree or not, they just need to go ahead and re-sign Daniel Jones.
They are. I heard rumors they are. They're just trying to work it out.
Going to be done soon.
Yep. I don't know, fellas. I don't know about that. I don't know.
Why?
About that.
Why would you not re-sign him? He was tearing up the league before he got hurt.
He was. But to have those two type of injuries in this moment of his career, are you willing to risk 46, 48 million on a guy, or do you go get a free agent such as Kyler Murray, who's potentially could be released by March 15th? There's rumors going around that he carries a 52.7 million cap hit for 2026. Right. So there's been a lot of people. There's been a lot of buzz going right now about the Minnesota Vikings and the Indianapolis Colts to be those primary landing spots.
It can't be the Vikings. They've already got a guy. And I'm gonna die on that hill. His name is JJ McCarthy. He's a national championship winning quarterback.
Hell no.
You better give him his respect.
I don't know about that yet. Respect is earned.
Listen,
is earned.
What are the Cardinals going to do? What will the Cardinals do?
You didn't learn yet.
Caleb earned my respect. Caleb earned my respect.
Leave me alone. The Cardinals.
You didn't learn yet.
Move on to the Cardinals. The
Said I'm
Cardinals
gonna die on the hill with him. Well, Tim, we'll get your casket ready.
Are you going to start Jacoby and draft a young quarterback like a Nussmeier or a Beck?
I would sign Jacoby. And
That's
I would
what I
sign
said,
him
but
for
you start
friendly
Jacoby.
deal. I don't need another
Draft a rookie.
quarterback in this class. Nah.
Wait a minute.
Jacoby's like 29
Jacoby's not the
years
quarterback
old.
of the
He's
future.
good.
I'm not saying he's the
he's
quarterback of the future, but I'm saying he's serviceable until the next round of quarterbacks. Don't put your stock into any of these quarterbacks in the draft. And record this because we're recording this right now, right? So I'm saying right now, outside of Mendoza, I don't see it.
No.
Don't draft him. Keep Jacoby on a 3-year deal. You got a really good class coming in here soon, right? Where you can have your pick of the litter.
And let's be real, the Cardinals aren't like win now. They're not.
Jacoby.
Yeah, they're not in a win now situation.
No.
I think you're poo-pooing on some of these rookie quarterbacks, but we'll get into that later on.
It's not that I'm poo-pooing on them. I'm just looking at the wave of quarterbacks. Okay, Fernando Mendoza, can he run? Does he have wheels? Ty Simpson, can he run?
Not in the NFL. Not those type of wheels.
Carson Beck, can he run? Garrett Nussmeier, can he run?
Yes. He's not athletic as his brother.
Run?
Yes. And what does it matter if he can run? The question should be, is he mobile? Is he pocket mobile? Can he get himself out of trouble? Why does he got to be able to run? What is this about?
The NFL is different.
Plays where you have got to use your legs to make that first down and win that game.
I think all those guys can use their legs if they need to. Mendoza used his legs in the championship game.
Yes.
Carson Beck can use. I mean, are we talking about dual threat guys that are 50% runners? No. But are we talking about guys that are athletic enough?
That's the way the game is going, Tim. You got
It's not. There's only a few guys that play the game that way. There's only a few guys that are run-first guys. Jalen Hurts.
I'm not saying run first, but name them.
Jalen Hurts, run-first guy. I'm not even going to say Lamar's that anymore because he's become more of a pocket passer as he's getting older, for sure. But there's more. Let me think of something. Malik Willis, run-first guy, for sure.
You mean the guy who never threw a pick? You mean the guy who has like 80%?
He doesn't throw the ball enough to throw a pick.
And like 9 touchdowns to no picks? That guy?
Run first guys.
That guy can roll though, right?
None of these guys are run first. But you want a guy that can move around.
But these statues are over with, bro.
They're not.
They don't think up top anymore. These statues are over.
That's the problem. I think
if you can't move like a Bo Nix, it's not going to work.
Let's go back to what you just said. Quickly. You said they don't have it up here anymore, so they need to be able to run. So that takes me back to what the real issue is that you don't have to be athletic, but somebody has to grab these quarterbacks at some point and teach them how to play the game from the neck up. And that's what they're not learning. And that's a problem. That's why Tom Brady just said.
Well, they're starting earlier. These guys are starting earlier in their careers. You know what I mean? They're starting much earlier now. Well, yeah, you have a touchdown to check down type thing with younger quarterbacks because that's what works. The tradition of playing these veteran quarterbacks, they all didn't start that early. Even the greats, some got thrown into situations due to injury, and then it's like, all right, well, I earned the job and are rocking it. But the traditional go in and sit a couple years, the Green Bay way, if you will, that doesn't exist. You're looking for your starter now. You're looking for your guy that can play right now and win us a championship. Why? Because his legs are fresh. I'm with Newly on this one. You want someone who at least is going to give you 5 to 6 years of leg usage, like yardage gain, run, the ability to open up a playbook, to leverage an offensive line that may not be that good because now I paid for a good defense instead. It's timing. NFL is timing, and your legs as a quarterback dual threat helps. It helps. You have to be able to do both. He's right.
Let me give you another perspective.
I'll
give you another perspective. Brandon and I are in physician recruitment, and one of the things that we talk about ad nauseum is succession planning with our CEOs and physician recruiting partners. When did the NFL decide they didn't have to do succession planning for their quarterbacks anymore? When did they decide they were going to draft a rookie quarterback when it was time for that guy to play? Like, come on, man. Like, Arizona's the perfect scenario. What I'm talking about, you have a Jacoby Brissett that could win some games and you'll be competitive, but you can also take this time in the third or fourth round to draft you a quarterback that you think you can mentor and build into a winner in the NFL. But we don't do that anymore. We don't take the time to do that anymore.
Man,
and
this
it makes
is a
me
simple
sick to my stomach.
This is a simple answer.
None of them are there.
Yeah. Well, that and market. The market, the rookie salary cap, all that changed everything. The best way to manage your money is get the best deal out of that first round pick that you got. Right? Because that quarterback you got at the first round pick, it's making 20 to 30. It ain't 50. It ain't 58 that you got to pay these guys. You know what I mean? And the layout of the money can change how you. This ain't baseball, right? It's crazy. Right. We're talking about receivers and everyone leaving the game at 31 years old. That's about the time you get paid in baseball. You haven't even got your money yet. You know what I mean? So, and this isn't that sport because it's more violent. It's very now. Any given Sunday. You know what I mean? These guys are about their money. They're going to get paid, and some journeys are different. But if you can get that market value at any point in your career, I think it's a success. You got paid. You got paid.